If you've been going to the gym consistently for 5 years, that is no longer a hard discipline. Let me explain. Before I get into that, welcome back, everybody, to the Insightful Podcast. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. If you guys have been enjoying the podcast so far, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know any future topics that you want me to speak about in future episodes. So let me get into what I mean by that. The reason why I'm making this podcast is to give you a different perspective when it comes to discipline and how can you improve the skill even further if you're already good at it. So without further ado, let's get into this. Going to the gym for me is no longer difficult, right? I wake up at 4 in the morning. I go to the gym for 5 o'clock, and I love the gym, you know. And I've been doing it for so long that I don't look at it as discipline. It's just something I do, right? And this is the perspective you need to have. When you brush your teeth twice a day, every single day, is that discipline? You know, I don't believe it is because you've been doing it your whole entire life. That how is it discipline to do that? It's just out of habit now. And maybe that whole definition and what I'm saying contradicts what discipline actually is. But what I'm trying to get at is that discipline is difficult, right? When you first start going to the gym and you show up when you feel sore and you show up when you feel tired and you have no ambition and no drive to show up to the gym, that is discipline. But when it becomes something that you love and that is a part of your life and you do it no matter how you feel, I feel as if it's no longer a hard discipline, right? It's like people that eat on a diet way or eat very clean their whole entire life. When they're 50 years old, it doesn't really feel like a hard discipline anymore. And that's what I'm trying to get at is discipline within itself is built by doing things that you don't want to do on a daily basis, no matter how you feel, right? But when it gets to a point where that within itself becomes easy, you need to up the ante. You need to try harder and implement things that are going to make the discipline you have more difficult, right? For example, for me it's the gym right now. I like I just said, going to the gym for me is easy. I love it and I show up every single day. But what I've implemented recently is 30 minutes of cardio, right? I've never done cardio on a consistent basis every day, but now I've been doing it 30 minutes a day. And in the beginning, it was very difficult. And even now, sometimes I still feel as if I don't want to do it. And I feel the same way I once felt in the gym in the beginning. So I would say I'm building my discipline up because I'm showing up, I'm working out, plus I'm doing cardio, which I wouldn't do regularly. And I'm building that discipline of doing my cardiovascular training every single day. So that's a new way to strengthen my discipline when it comes to the gym because I added something to it. And that's how you improve the skill of discipline. Let's take a quick break to speak about the sponsor for the podcast. I am now working with a company called Attilius Apparel, and if you want Christian fitness wear that looks like or this, click the link in the description. Now let's get back into the podcast. I will always stay the same if I don't implement new forms of discipline, right? I do copywriting as well, online marketing. In the beginning, it was very difficult for me to constantly be writing emails every single day and upping my skill. I was struggling to stay consistent with that. So, what needed to happen was I needed to build the discipline of my copywriting and marketing skills. So, what did that look like? I would start reading copy every single day. I would write an email every single day to improve my skill. That is my new form of discipline because some people may in their mind believe they're super disciplined because they show up to the gym every day, but if you've been doing that for 10 years, have you really made any growth? Obviously you made growth within your physique and within the goals when it comes to the gym, but in discipline within itself, are you more disciplined now than you were 5 years ago, even though you've been going to the gym for 15 years? No, not really, because it's just become part of your life. So, in order to develop the skill of discipline even further, you need to start adding aspects in your life that you become more disciplined in. You become disciplined in business. You become disciplined in your diet. You become disciplined in the thoughts you're having, because every single time you have a negative thought, you cut it off from the beginning and you don't let it spiral. That is new forms of discipline. And that is how you grow as a person, right? And this is where it comes to finding out what that thing is for you in order to up that skill of discipline. Is the thing that you are struggling to do right now on a consistent basis should be your new form of discipline. You know, go back to the copywriting example. In the beginning, when I started pursuing copywriting, it was very difficult for me to do the work every single day. So that was the discipline I focused on. Is okay, I need to do copywriting every single day, no matter how I feel, no matter if I want to or not. And that was the discipline I focused on, right? So, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that I know right now there's something in the back of your mind that you know you should be doing and you're not doing it. And maybe everything in your life is good. You're going to the gym, you're building your business, whatever. But there's another aspect of your life that you want to improve. And that's the thing that you keep putting off. That is the discipline you need to build. That is the thing you need to work on. So it's not even a practice that you need to spend too much time doing. Is thinking about, okay, what is the next thing I need to become more disciplined in? You already know what that thing is. Maybe it's waking up early. Maybe it's going to bed at the right time every single day and not scrolling on your phone before bed. You know what it is. And that's the thing you should constantly be focused on in this current moment, because that is what's going to separate you from becoming more disciplined in that area. And when that area becomes more disciplined, your whole life overall becomes more disciplined as well. It's like when I was studying to get this personal training certification. In the beginning, it was very difficult for me to study every day. And the reason why it was, easy to put it off was because it was do it on your own time basis, right? So there was no one pushing me, there was no one forcing me to do anything, right? So that was something that I needed to become more disciplined in. And through to the end of when I finally got my certification, I was being more disciplined. I was setting time aside every single day to study. So that's the thing that's important, is right now that there's something that you're struggling with, and that is the point of discipline that you should be focused on right now. Another thing that you could focus on right now once you get off this podcast, because it's something that you don't have to go anywhere to do, is removing high dopamine from your life in general, right? If that comes from high sugar foods, if that comes from scrolling, if that comes from, whatever it is, you need to actually start removing those things, because that's the best way to become more disciplined. It's a little aspect of your life that you can remove that will allow you to start seeing progress in your life, right? So for example, it's, oh, do I scroll on my phone before I go to bed, or is the first thing I grab in the morning my phone and scroll on Instagram? All you have to do is don't do that. And that's like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before bed, 5-10 minutes when you wake up. And that is already a disciplined task that you do on your day to help, build a momentum for the rest of the day. Right. So that is another place to start right now. Right. If you're watching this podcast and maybe this is the fourth YouTube video you've watched today, maybe you just say to yourself, okay, after this, I'm not going to do this anymore. And that already is you improving from before, because maybe yesterday you watched 6 videos, right? So you progressively overload that form of discipline when it comes to removing dopamine. Excuse me. The next thing, the next point I want to make is your discipline in life should constantly be growing and developing, right? Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day is a new form of discipline that you are adding to your life. Once that becomes extremely easy and a part of your life, then maybe you up it to 15 pages, or then maybe you up it to, reading 2 books at the same time, right? I wouldn't really recommend that, but that is something that you can add. Something along the lines of that. It doesn't have to be specific to what I'm currently saying, but that is the thing right there, is if you can, realize, okay, this new form of discipline I'm pursuing, let's say it's learning a language. Once you get into the habit of learning that language and putting time aside, okay, now how can I develop my discipline even further? Okay, I need to add this into my life. Maybe it's having a different type of diet that is restrictive of the things that I truly want to eat all the time, and I know isn't beneficial for my physique or for my health. right? You always got to look for that new way to become more disciplined, because that is how you get ahead in life. That is how you grow as a person, right? And it's the whole concept of cold showers, for example. People don't realize like cold showers isn't going to drastically change your life, but it's that little form of discipline that you do every single day for a minute or two that kind of, you don't want to do it. You don't want to show up and get into that cold water or get into that cold plunge, whatever way you go about doing it. But it's just a form of discipline every single day that builds that momentum for the rest of your day and for your future, right? So you could have like maybe 10 different forms of discipline every single day, things that you show up and you do, right? I created a habit tracker that comes with my self-improvement starter pack, and there's 7 things I have on mine, and they're all little tasks that maybe accumulate to an hour of time every single day, but they're all little things that I do on a daily basis that allows me to build more discipline, because I feel disciplined in this one avenue, then I feel disciplined in all 7, then I feel even more disciplined and more motivated and focused to do the work I know needs to be done. So it's kind of like a supplement the way it works. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with a quote before I close out. The normal thing I always do. I love doing this. Self respect is the root of discipline. The sense of dignity grows with the ability to say no to oneself. Abraham Joshua Heschel. Once again, I don't know if I said the name properly, but it was one of the quotes I found online that I feel like was related to what we're speaking about, right? So maybe your form of discipline that you try after this video is just saying no to yourself when you want to do something. And that will, drastically improve your skill of discipline. So just start small, my friend. It doesn't have to be, I need to start going to the gym 3 hours every single day. No, maybe just add a 20-minute cardio session, 10-minute cardio session to what you're currently doing and build off of that. You don't need to go from 0 to 100. That is the quickest way to fail in anything new you're trying. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast and making it this far. If you enjoyed it, remember to follow us on Spotify. We gain insight in order to move forward in life. Let me know in the comments what has been the most impactful episode of the podcast this far, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.